Ex-Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell got a hell of a lucky break from the Supreme Court. In fact, he got two. Now, he was convicted on very significant charges, including wire fraud, extortion, false statements, conspiracy. Yeah, I'll read them all. 11 criminal counts. As I told you, wire fraud, conspiracy to obtain property to which he was not entitled, extortion under color of official right, false statements. Now, some of that basically means bribery. So they gave him a lot of goodies, which I'm about to tell you about in a second, and then he did favors for them, political favors. Yeah, that's what we used to call bribery. And that's what we apparently still call it. Look, this wasn't the way that bribery has become legalized, where you give campaign donations or you hire them afterwards. This is simply, I'm going to give you gifts and then you are going to do political things for me. It's old school bribery. So this knucklehead didn't even know that we had actually legalized most of the bribery through the Supreme Court. He did it, he got busted on it, and in a trial he was convicted. But he caught the lucky break because the Supreme Court decided to hear his case. Very rarely will the Supreme Court hear a case like this where there aren't larger issues at hand for them to solve. People were a little surprised when they decided to hear it. And then he caught another lucky break today when the Supreme Court announced we're overturning his conviction. First, let me give you the details what Governor McDonnell did, and then I'll show you why they overturned it. He used his position to solicit $175,000 in payments, gifts, and loans, including $15,000 for wedding catering for his daughter's wedding, $140,000 to his real estate company, and $3,804 to use Kinloch golf clubs. But there's more, further details. He had been accepting $175,000, as I said, in money and luxury goods from a Virginia businessman who wanted to help getting two state universities to conduct research on a diet supplement. The businessman wrote checks to help McDonnell pay credit card and real estate debts and cover the cost of catering his daughter's wedding. Among the gifts were a Rolex watch, $20,000 worth of designer clothes from McDonnell's wife, Maureen, and the use of a country club, a vacation home, and a Ferrari sports car. If that ain't bribery, what is? But again, it's okay because a court in Virginia convicted their own governor. It's already over, but it's not over because the Supreme Court doesn't think anything is bribery. Ferraris are not bribery, Rolex is not bribery, campaign donations aren't bribery. Nothing's bribery to the Supreme Court. You know why? Because the conservatives on the Supreme Court got there through bribery. They love bribery. Here's what I mean by that. So who nominates the conservative Supreme Court justices? Well, presidents do. They also nominate the liberal ones. The conservative ones are put there by Republican presidents to do as they are told. Who got the Republican presidents in their position? The same donors who told the Republican presidents, you do as you are told. They love this system because they're part of this system. So John Roberts, the Chief Justice, unbelievably said in his decision, there is no doubt that this case is distasteful. It may be worse than that, but our concern is not with the tawdry tales of Ferraris, Rolexes, and ball gowns. It is instead with the broader legal implication of the government's boundless interpretation of the federal bribery statute. What in God's green earth was boundless about that? They got the conviction. They always say, oh no, wait for the day in court, you can judge by your peers, etc. We went through that whole process. No. Here's the final judgment. The powerful are above the law. That's a governor. That's a Republican governor, and he's got Republican Supreme Court justices saying, no. We get to have the Ferraris and the Rolexes. We get to legalize bribery in the Supreme Court, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. That is our friend. He's not like the rabble, like the masses like you guys. We stuff you into prisons for smoking a little bit of marijuana. But you got a slight moving violation, you got a traffic ticket, oh, you didn't pay your fine. Oh, since you owe it to the government, eventually that becomes an arrest warrant, and we stuff you into jails because we don't give a damn about you. But that's one of our boys, one of our buddies. He gets to ride around on Ferraris and do favors for his political benefactors. No, our final judgment on the Supreme Court is we're above the goddamn law. And, by the way, there is no such thing as bribery anymore. You can give them unlimited campaign donations. You can give them unlimited jobs afterwards. You can give jobs to their family members. You could even buy their family members their wedding gowns of their of their dreams. You can create their weddings. You can pay their credit card. You can just stuff their pockets full of money. And I'm still not going to call it bribery because I love the bribery. That's what John Roberts said today. He was born of this bribery. If there wasn't a bribery in the first place, he would have never become a Supreme Court justice. Honest and decent politicians would have picked honest and decent judges to become justices. In this case, we don't have a justice system. We have an injustice system where they always win and we always lose. That's what John Roberts is about, and that's my final judgment on his deep, disgusting corruption. Get the money out of politics. The only way you do it is you go above this corrupt Supreme Court. You do it through an amendment and watch John Roberts cry about it.